Live from the SoCap Comedy Theater in beautiful downtown Toronto, it's And the Scotch Eggs Comedy Game Showdown. Please welcome your host, Dan Donnelly.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Comedy Game Showdown. My name is Dan Donnelly, and I will be your host this evening. Our theme tonight is House of Maus. It is an all-Disney theme. Are there any Disney adults in the audience? All right. So you guys are all gay, I'm assuming. I am not a Disney adult, but I do have a lot of experience with Disney. When I was in high school, I went to Disneyland every year for several years because my high school marching band, I grew up in LA, we would regularly perform there one day during the summer. And so we would be brought in as performers, and we get to hang around behind the scenes and see Goofy with his head off smoking a cigarette. And then we would do one march through Disneyland, do one little 15-minute performance, and then we would have the rest of the day to hang out, which was really fun. Just in case you want to know, we were the Highlanders. I did play the bagpipes. This is me 25 years ago when I still thought I was fat. Oh, what's ahead of you? But the major thing about growing up in LA and Disneyland and going to high school there in particular is that everybody does grad night at Disneyland, which is that literally everybody in LA, the night they graduate high school, gets bused to Disneyland and you get to spend the night there, which sounds awesome, but I almost died. It is the closest I think I've ever come to death in my life. Because the problem with grad night is they bus in thousands of high schoolers from all over LA, which means they take you inside the gates, but then there are metal detectors. And so everyone is crowded in the space between the gates and the metal detectors. And a few people thought it would be a fun idea to start running into the crowd from the outside and push as hard as they could. Has anybody ever heard of a crowd crush before? So my arms were pinned to my sides, and I was lifted off my feet in this crowd. And it was going on for like 45 minutes. Thankfully, I did survive, as you can see. I was able to get into the park, but it was really scary. It was like a horde of zombies, but a bigger horde than Night of the Living Dead. I was just afraid to use any other picture because of copyright concerns. So I got inside. I ate my $30 jambalaya gumbo bread bowl in fake New Orleans. And then my friends and I went to my favorite ride at Disneyland. Can you guys guess what it is? Dumbo. It is not Dumbo. It is not Small World. It is the fucking Jungle Cruise. We love the Jungle Cruise not only because it's fun and relaxing, but also because there was never a line. So it was like the only place you could sit down in the shade on the days when we were there during the summer. But the Jungle Cruise was great, especially when we were there alone, which we often were because the guides would sometimes let me do the material. Little me did not know what awaited him in the future, but I think I got a taste of it back then. And it may have inspired other things about my personality as well. That rhinoceros is trying to get his point across, but I'm sure the bottom will get the point in the end. I mean, the guy on the bottom. Never mind, same thing. Anyway, no, it was great. It was fun. We love the classic Jungle Cruise jokes. Here we're passing Schweitzer Falls, named for the famous African explorer Albert Falls. And now we are passing along the backside of Schweitzer Falls, named for the backside of famous African explorer Albert Falls. And if we learn one thing from the Jungle Cruise, it's that hippos are only dangerous when they blow bubbles and wiggle their ears. But thankfully, we have a cap gun for that, or at least we did. I think they got rid of them for safety reasons. So the Jungle Cruise is sad now. But one thing we do have is a great show for you tonight. But before I finish this monologue, I will leave you with one last joke for the mind readers in the audience. All right. So are you guys ready for your show tonight? Yes, we've got a great one in store for you, but first we have a short word from our sponsor, the public domain. As some of you may have seen, Steamboat Willie is in the public domain as of January 1st this year. Did I consider playing the full cartoon in public because I was legally allowed to? Yes. Did I not do it because I am still desperately afraid of Disney? Also, yes. Night of the Living Dead is in the public domain. I put it up on YouTube, got a copyright strike. It is absolutely insane. But anyway, the public domain is wonderful if you want to turn classic literature into zombie fiction or sex trash, which you can do with contemporary literature anyway. It's called fan fiction. I don't know what the difference is, except for you can't get sued by J.K. Rowling. So the public domain, hooray for creativity everywhere. Are you guys ready for your real show tonight? Yes? All right, let us bring up your two teams of contestants. First up, we have the Aristocats. Please welcome Nikki Ashworth, Keegan Hawkeswood, and Joe Botelho. And up against the Aristocats, we have their mortal enemies, the Mousketeers. Please welcome Andrew Lizotte, Sidney Cummings, and Ryan Zeitz. All right, are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Yeah. Excellent. We are going to get started with a pop quiz. Our first question, the category is Cat Got Your Tongue. What were the first words ever spoken by Mickey Mouse? Ryan.
The Jews control the media.
You have to do it in the voice, Ryan. Or is that just Walt Disney speaking through him?
The Jews control the media.
They do. 20 points. We always reward anti-Semitism on this show.
We should mention that Ryan is Jewish, just in case anyone's like, oh no.
Don't worry, it's going to get mentioned. Yes, Nikki.
Who wears short shorts?
I wear short shorts. Yes, Andrew.
Corporations are people.
You would think that Mickey's long career in blackface would have prevented his Supreme Court appointment from getting through the Senate, but that's America for you. Yes, Keegan.
My wife.
Who knew? More anti-Semitism. All right. The real answer is, of course, I am become death, destroyer of worlds. But also, hot dogs, hot dogs. He's actually selling hot dogs, but it did become his catchphrase later on. So that's how it works, apparently, with a catchphrase. So you start selling and then you sell out. All right. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is If You Build It. Prior to building Walt Disney World in Florida, what other location did Disney visit with plans for a potential theme park? Yes, Keegan.
I'm going to go with Dildo, Newfoundland.
There are a lot of good rides in Dildo, Newfoundland. Andrew.
A haunted Indian burial ground.
Also known as America, yeah. Ryan.
Hopefully somewhere with a bit less guns.
Than Florida?
Indeed.
That is everywhere, except for Texas. Yes, Sidney.
Chernobyl, but it actually turned out that Florida had looser environmental regulations.
Yeah, I think that's... Yeah, go ahead.
Obviously, naturally, it would be Iceland because he would just change it to Miceland.
So you mean the country and not the British frozen food store?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, Ryan.
Doubling down on noted anti-Semite Walt Disney, I'm going to go with Auschwitz, Poland.
Yeah, they already had a park there, though. There was no room.
Sorry, and Ryan is still Jewish.
Yeah. The Disney park would be more crowded, though, and less comfortable, probably. All right. The real answer is, of course, Disneyland. They built it first, but also Niagara Falls here in Ontario. There would have been Canadian Disney. Look at all we missed out on.
I'd have no money.
Yeah. All we have is Walt Disney's frozen head under Lake Louise. All right, we're going to move on to the next question. The category is That's All, folks. Wrong corporation. Shortly before his death in 1966, what were the last words Walt Disney scribbled down in a cryptic note in his office? Yes, Joe.
Epstein didn't kill himself.
He was prescient, Walt Disney. He really knew. Yes, Andrew.
Dearest Adolf, I hope you are enjoying Argentina.
Yeah, Nikki.
Not Penny's boat.
No Lost-
that's a
no
reference
Lost
to
fans?
Lost
Yeah.
if anyone is of a certain age.
You know what's great is The Leftovers, in addition to Lost, made by the same guy. That's not a joke, just a suggestion. Go watch The Leftovers. Yes, Keegan.
We need more sexy animals in our films.
Yes. And Disney's Robin Hood went into production 2 years later. Coincidence? I don't think so. Yes, Sidney.
Don't trust the mouse.
Yes, Joe.
Ryan's a Jew?
That's why he's not working for Disney right now. The only reason. Yeah. All right. The correct answer is I, Walter Elias Disney, being of sound mind and body, for both the good of humanity and all future artistic endeavors, do hereby release all my creations into the public. Ha ha! Gotcha. We're gonna own this shit forever. No. He wrote Kurt Russell and misspelled it. Kurt, he spelled with an I, K-I-R-T, which is like a skirt, but not. They had gotten to know each other because Kurt Russell was a young actor in those days, and Disney had taken a shining to him and thought he had a real career in front of him. And so he was going to be cast in some future Disney project, and we'll never know what it was.
Or it was a list from people he wanted dead.
Well, it worked the other way. You ever make a reverse hit list? Kurt, oh yeah, it was he wrote the name of the murderer. It was a dying message, like in a Japanese visual novel, where high schoolers kill each other. No, like a video game that's a visual novel, like Danganronpa or 999 or something. All right.
I get all these references.
Well, I wasn't planning on explaining until somebody got something wrong. All right. So we know it was Kurt Russell. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is Time to Meet Pluto. Shortly after his death in 1966, the National Spotlight tabloid falsely reported that Walt Disney's body had been preserved in a cryogenic cylinder. Where is his actual final resting place? Yes, Sidney.
Sorry, are we just gonna pretend that Walt's team didn't write this question to throw us off their tracks? Falsely reported.
Yeah, we all know he's still alive in Argentina.
Yeah, with his friend Adolf. They kept up the pen pal correspondence. It was nice. But be careful, Ryan. The Mossad are listening. They have ears everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like they're a little busy right now.
Maybe. Yes, Nikki, with
Okay.
that very enthusiastic ring.
Yeah, no, I know the answer. It's that ominous door that you pass by on your way to the teacup ride that says, definitely just brooms and not the body of our glorious leader.
It's funny, they had one of those in Pyongyang for those 3 years before Kim Jong-il was officially dead.
He's attached to the back of Donald Trump's head, hidden under his toupee. Very Harry Potter-like.
Yes, very Harry Potter-like. It would explain why Trump headquarters in the next election has been moved to a bunker underneath Club 33, and also why it is now the only place in Disneyland that serves unicorn blood, which is a fun fact about Club 33. Has anyone ever been to Club 33? I knew one person who had been there. He said it was nice.
I haven't been to Club 33, but I have been to Club M4. Hey. For my Mississauga peeps.
I'm just going to assume that that's a sex club.
You assume correctly.
All right. You haven't brought up your bag full of sex toys yet this show.
Hey, now, it's two duffel bags.
Sorry,
full of
2
sex
duffel
toys.
bags, just in case you run out. Okay. So the real answer is this is actually a trick question. While Disney did get frozen, he will be unfrozen in the year 3000, and he will be welcome to the world of tomorrow! In Tomorrowland, that is correct, yes. That would have been funnier than what I thought of. But in fact, his ashes are interred in the Disney family mausoleum in Forest Lawn Cemetery in Glendale, California.
That's what they'd like you to think.
Yeah, that is what they'd like us to think. Also Argentina. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is Goodwill Blunting. Robin Williams swore he would never work for Disney again after they breached an agreement not to use his performance as Genie to market Aladdin merchandise. What did the company offer to entice him back for Aladdin 3? Yes, Keegan.
I'm going to go with a complimentary full body wax.
Given it's Robin Williams, that's probably worth more than he made on the original Aladdin. He worked for scale, which turned out to be $75,000 to do that movie. Because he wanted to do something nice for his daughter. And then they fucking used his performance to market toys. It was the only stipulation in his contract. Yes, Joe?
Mrs. Doubtfire becomes a Disney princess.
Yeah. Wait, is that what Ron DeSantis is mad about? Yes, Nikki.
Okay, so they gave him like a real magic lamp, right, with a real genie, except it could only grant him wishes for Arby's coupons. Completely impractical.
That still sounds better than working for scale, honestly. I didn't see. Oh, was it Nikki again?
Yes. It was actually Matt Damon's soul that they gave him.
Yes, Andrew.
The formula for flubber.
It's just Elmer's glue and a little bit of vinegar. All right. The real answer is they just offered him an 8-ball and a bottle of Jack. Robin Williams is pretty easygoing. But in reality, they gave him a fucking Picasso, a real original many $million painting, in addition to paying him a shit ton of money for the third movie. But I do have to wonder, though, what happens if Disney falls out with Hannah Gadsby? What do they give her? They can't give her a Picasso. Yes, sorry, that was very insidery.
Wasn't Aladdin 3 direct to video?
It was.
He got a Picasso for a direct to video. Wow.
He got a Picasso to make him consider doing a direct to video. Disney have a lot of money. I don't know if you're aware.
You could say they had the Midas touch.
Oh.
Hey.
Also, what do I get for considering to let my boyfriend put it in the back?
Hopefully not a finger painting afterwards. Put a towel
Jackson
down.
Pollock.
Put a towel down.
Sorry.
All right. All right. We're going to move on. The next question, the category is Impractical Magic. In Bedknobs and Broomsticks, 3 war orphans are evacuated from the Blitz to the home of Miss Eglantine Price, a quirky country spinster played by Dame Angela Lansbury. How do they discover that Miss Price is, in fact, a witch? Sidney.
They saw her crystals recharging in the window, and that window was made of candy, and the house was also made of candy.
I actually kind of wonder how British witches recharge their crystals in the window with no sunlight. Isn't it too
The moon,
overcast?
babes. It's the moon.
Yes, Keegan.
I mean, she did have a huge live, laugh, Lucifer sign hanging
Yeah,
in her family room.
yeah.
It's pretty obvious.
It was tasteful. She got it at Winners. Yes, Joe.
She wrote about murders before they even happened. Explain that without witchcraft. Ah! I'm cursed.
You can do another take. This is a recording.
Explain that without witchcraft.
Yeah. Very believable. I will explain that without witchcraft because I've watched a lot of Murder, She Wrote, and I think that Jessica Fletcher never left her house again after her husband died. Because everywhere she travels looks like LA. New Orleans looks like LA, Maine looks like LA, Alaska looks like LA. So she's imagining these places based on what she's seen on television, where everywhere else substitutes in for LA. And so all of these murders are just her fantasies that she's expressing through her writing, like Roseanne after she won the lottery. And that is how.
So you're just
She
dementia.
Wrote
That's
works.
what she had. That's the saddest version of Murder, She Wrote I've ever. I'm glad my grandmother died before she heard that explanation.
All right. Anyone else? Yes, Ryan.
Well, she weighed the same as a duck.
Sorry?
So she's a witch.
I don't follow.
Why do witches burn, Dan?
Because they're made of wood?
Precisely. And wood floats?
So it weighs the same as a duck?
Exactly.
So then logically...
If she weighs the same as a duck, she's a witch!
Sorry, this is too silly. Anyone else? Dueling bells. Go,
Sorry,
Sidney.
have we mentioned that Ryan's Jewish?
They circumcised my beak.
They may have killed Jesus, but they didn't burn any witches. So it's like a pretty even deal.
They should burn that joke.
Yes.
This is totally losing momentum after what was just said, but I'm going to say it anyway. They know she's a witch because she was an older lady who became a teapot, but then became an older lady again.
So she got better, is basically what you're saying. Yeah. All right. So the real answer is that they're sneaking out to run back to London in the middle of the night, and they see her riding on her new broom that she got by mail order from her witch correspondence course. And then she crashes. Because she's not very good at it.
Sorry, kind of embarrassing. None of us thought she got caught riding a broom.
Haven't we both?
I did. I just didn't want to get sued by J.K. Rowling and bring up the Nimbus 2000.
Well, don't worry. It'll be in the public domain in 2146. You can do the joke then. All right. Thanks, everybody. That is the end of the first pop quiz. So give your contestants a hand. And in fact, we're going to go on to meet your contestants. Are you guys excited to learn something about these people in front of you here? You should know better by now. So up first are the Aristocats. First up, as frequent listeners already know, Nikki Ashworth is the real-life daughter of an animator. Growing up in the 80s and 90s, she had full access to historical and bootleg Disney animated shorts, films, art books, and model sheets. Despite this whimsical upbringing, she still can't draw for shit. And now knows that magic isn't real. Yeah.
Wow, that really made people sad.
Yeah. That's okay. We like downers on this show. It's better than Coke. Nikki, who is your favorite Disney character?
Okay, well, this won't come as a shock, but it's obviously going to be Cruella de Vil. First of all, amazing name. Cruel and Devil are actually in her name.
Yes.
That bitch is a style icon. She has the two-tone hair, the red lips, the matching red gloves, the green eyeshadow. RuPaul could never. And they literally mean he could never because he would totally get arrested for that Dalmatian coat.
RuPaul could never, but Leona Helmsley maybe. That is an old fucking reference. All right, everybody give Nikki a hand. Woo! I know what to get you for your birthday now. It's one of those long cigarette extenders, which I've been looking for years, and I've never been able to find one. eBay? Yeah, maybe. All right, next up among the Aristocats, Keegan Hawkeswood was raised in the woods by 3 fairies after an evil sorceress placed a curse upon him at birth. That curse? After donning a hexed sequined bomber jacket, Keegan fell into a slumber that only ended when Kylie Minogue released her hit song, Padam Padam. Keegan, being raised by 3 magical beings must have made for a weird childhood. Who were these fairies?
Okay, so I know that it sounds like my youth was very similar to Aurora from Sleeping Beauty. I get it. I've heard the comparisons before, but I'm a child of the 90s. I was actually born in the 80s. And my 3 fairies were Dorothy Zbornak, Rose Nyland, and Blanche Devereaux. Give it up. Give it up for the Golden Girls. Thank you.
But no Sophia.
No, she's dead to me. She knows what she did. And also she's dead to all of you too, because she's dead. Just like the rest of them.
Yeah.
They're all dead.
R.I.P. Betty White and everyone else. All right, well, that ended on a downer as well, but please give it up for Keegan.
Magic isn't real and everyone's dead.
I've always wanted to do a show where we just read Golden Girls strips on stage in drag. I thought that would be fun. I know,
down.
right?
I'm down.
Yeah. All right. Last up among the Aristocats, Joe Botelho was cast in the new Snow White as a dwarf. He has an infectious laugh that can make even the grumpiest trolls smile. But regardless of this infectious giggle that Joe brought to set, Snow White's reaction to his magical mirth was always a very unprincess-like fart. So doesn't he cut Joe out of the film, forever denying him his screen premiere in the role he was born to play? Joe, Since pants are optional in the world of Disney, why do you think Launchpad McQuack chooses to wear them?
Oh, it's because of his huge cock. Massive McCock. It's huge.
Yeah.
It's huge. And there's kids around, so he's got to keep it cheap.
So he doesn't have those like 1920s military pads in his thighs. That's just
Those are his balls. Those
yeah,
are his balls.
okay. We got it.
We are back to Disney requesting more sexy animals. Just saying.
Also, we've been worried about copyright law. You just said McCock. Ronald McDonald is coming for you. In more ways than one.
All right,
That made me grimace.
give it up for Joe and the rest of the Aristocats. And up against the Aristocats, we have their mortal enemies, the Mousketeers. Yay!
2 cops will take it.
First up, Andrew Lizotte suffers from a rare heart condition known as Tinkerbell's disease. If at any moment he stops being actively praised by an audience, he could literally die. Andrew, with such a specific disorder, I have to ask, what's the hardest you've ever bombed on stage?
Thank you for asking. I once emceed my cousin's wedding. When I woke up, the paramedics told me I was gone for 12 minutes. Dead.
It's a pretty long set. All right.
I liked it. I don't get it, but I like it.
Give it up for Andrew, everybody.
Can Sidney get extra points?
Yes, 50 points for Sidney.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right, give Andrew a hand, everybody. Next up, Sidney Cummings discovered her womanhood the first time she watched that tall, brown-eyed, British, but somehow Southern animated fox steal from the rich and give to the poor. Sidney, have you ever watched a Disney movie without discovering your womanhood?
Can you?
I know I haven't.
Honestly, okay, Dan, first of all, discover your womanhood. I highly suggest it.
It would be good for my career. We can all agree.
Also, I'm just going to say, please don't look at my search history. It includes Donald Duck, no pants, no shirt.
Oh, no shirt.
As well as Robin Hood.
Robin Hood. All right.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Give Sidney a hand.
Another downer question?
I was just thinking really hard about full nude Donald.
Give a little hand to Robin Hood, which is a good nickname for one, actually. All right. Last up among the Mousketeers, Ryan Zeitz was the titular star in the live-action remake of Dumbo. Shh. Don't be too loud making fun of his ears. He'll hear you. Wait, Ryan's in Mossad. Ryan, how did starring in a live-action Disney film affect your career?
Well, I've been booking a lot of auditions, but I haven't heard anything back. Another downer.
Yeah, we love it. Extra points for downers.
Yeah, can we get back to the Nazi jokes?
That's not a downer at all. All right, give it up for the Mousketeers. And we're going to move on to the next section of the game, which is called What the Hell is This? And What the Hell is This? We show our panelists a series of weird and wonderful images and ask them the eternal question, what the hell is this? All right, are you guys ready for your first weird and wonderful image?
Hell yes.
Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? Andrew.
Is this that gay agenda that everyone's talking about?
Finding the clitoris.
Well, they've got step 1 down anyway. Yeah.
This is You So Totally Rock, Squirt.
This is how you fillet a fish.
This is just a typical Friday night out with the fellas.
Yeah.
This is what happens when your parents love you unconditionally.
They were so supportive of their career choice.
This is RuPaul's Drag Race season 20.
Aren't we past
come out yet.
season 20?
Not yet.
Oh, really? Okay.
In 4 years, and we will be to this.
We're almost at that point now. Yeah.
The Seattle Fish Market.
It's called Pike Place.
Yeah.
I sort of knew the reference.
Yeah, but no. They throw the fish. That's very good.
This is on sale spandex and a lot of time and imagination.
I like that the blue fish's tail kind of looks like a mushroom, but it also kind of looks like a penis.
Her name is Dory.
I was gonna say.
Is that really Dory, though? Is that really Dory? For one thing, I can look her in the eye without being fired, so... Ellen DeGeneres. Anyone else? Yes, Ryan?
Robin Hood was a decoy. This is what's actually on Sidney's search history.
Yeah.
This is why you shouldn't keep exotic fish in captivity, because they'll do this.
Sorry, Ryan, do you think my search history is Dory Splits?
If that's not the ultimate sploosh, I don't know what else is.
So wet.
All right. I think we're done. I think the only thing we learned is that when they open their legs, it clearly smells like fish. But this is, of course, Nemo on Ice from Disney on Ice. This picture has been around for a long time, so I can't quite pinpoint in what year it was taken. It seems to be associated with the 100th anniversary of Disney, but also not, so who knows. All right, we're going to move on to the next image. Are you guys ready? We've got a little clip.
Please.
All right, panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
You're as light as a feather.
Maybe I'm floating.
All right, it's looping now. You can talk.
This is a typical Saturday night for me and my cats.
This is what I assume every heterosexual 15-year-old boy feels like the first time a girl lets him go down.
This is a visual representation of what static is like when you have a pet cat.
I misspoke earlier. This is finding the clitoris.
Yeah, it lights up. It's really easy, actually.
What is this from?
Well, that's what I tell you at the end.
Wingardium Leviosa!
She's coming for you. She's gonna kill you.
Damn right she is.
Also, Ryan, it's Wingardium Leviosa.
Not Leviosa!
Or though maybe that'll trigger the copyright problem. I don't know. Yeah, Nikki.
All cats actually have the power to levitate people. They just usually don't because they hate you.
55-year-old white men when they touch my pussy? Sorry, not question, exclamation point. Look at him go.
Yeah.
This is a mesmerizing clip.
I really like this clip. All right. So, unless anybody has anything else, I will tell you what this is.
Please.
So this is a scene from The Cat from Outer Space, 1978. That's Fred McMurray, who is the star of many sitcoms back in the day, but also has a leading role. And Harry Morgan from Dragnet and The Love Boat plays the army general who's investigating the spaceship that the cat landed in. And so the whole plot is that this cat has come to Earth in a spaceship, but the army has captured the spaceship, and then the cat is trying to get back to it. And then they do a little infiltration mission and various things. And then at the end, the cat moves a biplane with his mind and gets with the girl cat while they do a bunch of aerial stunts. It's a really, it's quite a movie.
And that's what you missed on Glee.
But I want to say that this is E.T.
I've seen this movie.
Yeah.
I saw it as a kid. Part of the whole bootleg thing that
Yeah.
earlier about me having access to ridiculousness.
Yeah.
I saw this film.
Yeah. It's but it is
Your
the
dad
plot of
drew
E.T.,
that
basically.
pussy?
Yeah.
This isn't E.T. This is C-A-T.
All right. So this is the shut the fuck up horn, which means you guys shut the fuck up. All right. We're going to move on to our next image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Disney's first attempt at a silent horror film, Mousketeers.
They do have that kind of twisted aspect to them, don't they?
This was the original concept for Disney in Auschwitz, Poland.
They do look like they haven't been eating.
This is Mia Familia.
I actually think this was Disney's first attempt at sexy animals, and they didn't quite get it right.
This was my childhood punishment.
Being that child or wearing that outfit?
Whatever you think, it's the other one.
Also, is anybody going to talk about the inclusivity? Mickey is wearing heels and
Yeah.
serving.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
Mickey is serving hardcore. Like, girl, Mickey's unstoppable.
Mickey's hips don't lie, that is for sure.
I just want to know why they made the kid kneel. I just noticed that.
He's so uncomfortable.
It's a trick of the camera. He's actually taller than them.
This is Disney saying, we do whiteface also.
Paper mache night!
Get on your knees.
Mickey, because if you don't, we'll kill you.
Touch my hot dog, touch my hot dog.
Hot dog.
Stop it now.
All right, any other opinions on this? Okay, so these are early Mickey and Minnie costumes from the 1930s. I could not find anything more specific than that for this image, but what I did find is a lot more images of horrifying costumes from the 1930s. So here we go. Here is Mickey and Minnie captured by some cats.
Those are not
Those are cats.
Those are
Here-
otters, Dan. Otters. You should know better.
No, those are gimps, Ryan. Gimps.
All right, we don't have time for you to comment on all of these because Rob has to go home. We also have Mickey and Minnie with Clara Bow, known mainly as the inspiration for Betty Boop now. And she also has a small, horrifying version of Mickey.
Looks like a stingray.
You know what it looks like is that part in Beetlejuice where Alec Baldwin pulls his face out and turns it into the Tyrannosaurus jaw. That's that.
But once you realize that
But
the
also
whole
a little bit of
human
vulva.
face- the whole human face is there, and I can't unsee it.
All right. Here we've got Minnie making her radio debut. A face for radio, as they used to say.
Her hand is giving the shocker.
I'm shocked.
Here is Mickey proposing to Minnie. She looks overjoyed. I like his spats.
Is she shy or is she throwing up?
She's trying to, yeah.
She looks like she's plotting something.
To throw up.
I have subtitled this An Indecent Proposal. And we also have here Mickey and Minnie, I think, feeding hungry children in the Depression. This is nobody looks happy to be there.
I'm sorry, I gotta call this out. This looks photoshopped to me. Doesn't it look photoshopped?
It's copyrighted by Disney, so I don't know.
That's really upsetting if it's not photoshopped.
Also, I shouldn't acknowledge that this is copyrighted by Disney, but this is fair use. By the way, I did get copyright trolled. Someone asked me for $5,000 for a photo we used on the show, so I'm going to ignore it and hope they sue me so we can get some publicity. Let's hope it's not Disney that is the one that breaks the camel's back.
Can I just say Mauschwitz? I feel like that was there the whole
This
time.
does look like.
Ryan, cover your ears.
All right, and we've got one more, because you would think that all of these from the 30s, yeah, okay, maybe furry technology was so new that they couldn't do it right. You would think that by 1958, the costumes would be better, but indeed here is the opening of Alice in Wonderland.
Why is Nikki so angry?
Featuring the Donnie Darko rabbit.
Can we give Minnie the key to a better lash technician?
All right,
Okay.
so, yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, in terms of the designs, what really puzzles me is that the chipmunk, which I assume is either Chip or Dale on the right, doesn't look that bad. Like
No, he looks
they
pretty
didn't
good.
struggle with that. So why are the others so goddamn terrifying?
Who's that bunny?
I think the rabbit from Alice in Wonderland. I think giving.
my
It's the white rabbit. The white rabbit.
It's so far off.
He's,
Yeah, it's very far off.
he's late for a very important date with some reconstructive surgery. All right. So that is all for these. Thank you guys for your patience in allowing me to show them to you. But once I started finding them, I just could not put them in. All right. So are you guys ready for your next weird and wonderful image? All right. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this? It's a little clip.
I love you too, Fuzz Bucket. Here's Smooch.
Keegan.
This is every twink at 2 a.m. going home with the last guy at the bar.
This is Walt Disney's first piece of anti-Semitic propaganda.
This is every interaction I've had with an uncut dick.
Just a little kiss?
You gently kissed it.
She can handle.
That's all I can do. That's all I can do.
This is a Harvey Weinstein audition tape.
No, there's no misogynist answer.
This is Sidney finding her womanhood again.
Which one's me and which one's the woman?
It's somewhere under all that hair.
This just makes me itchy. Right?
Yeah. Me and the sweater my mom gave me.
Look right here at the end. When he kisses him, the guy in the back just turns his nose away. He's like, no!
Yeah, he's very upset by this whole thing. I cut out a spit take that, well, not a disgust take that he does after this. But yeah, anyone else?
I'm trying to read his lips.
Okay. If you read his lips, it will give away the answer. So
I'm a child. That's what he's saying.
no, he's saying "I love you too, Fuzz Bucket." This is from the movie Fuzz Bucket from 1986, in which it was really hard for me to find something that I could get a clip from. By the way, this is like a VHS transfer from the Internet Archive. But yeah, so Fuzz Bucket is this kid whose name now I forget, but I think it's Mikey because they're always Mikey. He's his imaginary friend who turns out to be real, and eventually he materializes, and he has this whole thing where he lives with these other whatever they are, fuzz buckets in the swamp. And the kid has like absentee parents. The dad is Joe Regalbuto before Murphy Brown, Frank Fontana. Yeah, that's basically it. Fuzzbucket fixes his family situation, and then they part ways. And it's
Can you imagine having an imaginary friend and they come to life as an uncut dick?
I would have been a lot happier as a teenager if that were the case. All right, we're gonna move on to the next weird and wonderful image. Panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
Too much.
Yeah. Everybody's carefully considering what they can say on a recording.
Sex toy story.
Oh, so that's her O face.
Buzz. light year.
She found a snake in his boot.
Wrong character, bitch.
But the joke still stands, and don't you dare call me a bitch.
This was actually a New Year's Eve that I came out to a friend of mine, true story, where I did what Buzz is doing on a dance floor to a girl before I said too much and came out. So you're welcome.
He does look
Buzz
very
before he
distressed.
goes, I'm actually gay.
Hard pass, yeah.
I'm really looking for more of a Woody, if you get my drift.
This is from an adult offshoot called Choking Hazard, Aim Away from Face.
All right, anyone else? I think you guys are well satisfied, as is Jesse. So these are, of course, Buzz and Jesse in Toy Story 2. It turns out that there are lots of little in-between frames in animation that makes things look weird. So I have a couple more for you. Here's the King and Cinderella. Yeah,
This is the king and I.
that's very good. But anything you can do, he can do better, clearly. Here we have Flynn Rider clearly engaging in some erotic asphyxiation. And this beautiful frame from Snow White. As well as, and we've had this on the show before, but how could we forget this other, the classic Cinderella anal beads. All right, are you guys ready for your last weird and wonderful image?
Yeah.
All right, panelists, I ask you, what the hell is this?
This is Florida!
This is boomers desperately trying to stay relevant.
Finish him. Garsh.
This actually is a fatality, as it turns out.
Oh, watch out there, sonny boy. I'm gonna fuck you up real good.
I really wish I could do a Donald voice.
I can do a Donald no pants, no shirt? Question mark.
Well, now you see here, he's got that wand. So.
Oh, I saw
Yeah,
Dan.
Donald with a magic wand, I think fits into your.
Updating search history.
All right, anybody else? This turned out to be less fertile than I was hoping. Unlike Sidney's opinion of shirtless Donald Duck. All right. So this is a very dramatic scene from Kingdom Hearts 3. In which Donald, in fact, sacrifices his life by casting a huge magic spell to defeat this enemy guy. I would explain the plot of Kingdom Hearts, but it is literally impossible to explain the plot of Kingdom Hearts. But I did cut out a very dramatic Goofy going, Donald, no, in slow motion. It's very shown in this whole sequence. All right, so that's that. So that's it for What the Hell Is This? Thank you guys. Give your panelists a hand. We are going to move on right now to another pop quiz. The first question, the category is Swish Taco.
Yes.
In The Little Mermaid, the design of Ursula the Sea Witch was inspired by what campy, irreverent, and filthy pop culture icon? Yes, Ryan.
Jason Voorhees? I'm probably taking campy a bit too literally here.
Well, he did spend a lot of time underwater, so it's kind of there. Yes, Andrew.
Harvey Firestein, if he butched it up a little.
I think that's just Joan Rivers, isn't it? Oh my God. They almost have the same voice. It's crazy. Nikki?
So you had that like one popular kid in your class that would go to Florida every year and they would come back with a puka shell necklace. That asshole.
No, that's not the answer, but that kid did sort of take advantage of his new hot summer look to break up another relationship. So it is kind of close in a way. Joe.
Fat Richard Simmons?
Did Richard Simmons get fat?
He was during this movie.
That's the funny thing about animation. Nikki.
A shiny black latex glove with 3 extra fingers. that was the inspiration. Because she's an octopus.
She is an octopus. 5 + 3 is 8. Very good.
Danny DeVito duct taped to a vacuum cleaner. Think about it. Or think about it less, whatever gets you there.
Is
How
it
about Danny DeVito duct taped to a vacuum cleaner that also has a glove that has 3 extra fingers?
I see the vision, you guys. I'm with you.
A wet Reba McEntire.
something we dare not contemplate? So the correct answer is Magneto, just because Ursula and Ian McClellan often have the same haircut. But also, it's actually Divine, known from John Waters' many films, and perhaps best known for eating dog shit on camera. Divine, real name Harris Glenn Milstead. All right, we're gonna move on to the next question. Baby, it's cold outside. Before it was called Frozen, what was the working title of Disney's 2013 monster hit about 2 sisters and their icy kingdom? Yes, Keegan.
2 Girls, 1 Snowman.
Yeah, Joe?
Snow Whiter.
Snow White 2, Snow Whiter.
Another Hans Christian Andersen tale that's definitely not queer-coded, so nobody look it up and it's fine.
Have you heard the story about how he camped out at Charles Dickens' house for 6 months?
No, go on.
It's too long to relate here, but essentially, yeah, he admired Dickens, and so or was it Darwin? Anyway, go look it up.
I think the story's made up. Moving on.
No, he was a very bad house guest for somebody for about 6 months, and they could not make him go away. He was an awkward person. Hans Christian Andersen. Go ahead, Sidney.
Edmonton, Alberta.
You put the carrot where?
Colder than a witch's tit. Anyone? And my grandfather loves that joke. Is there
that a
anyone
joke?
over 89?
I thought it was just an expression.
Andrew's grandma, are you here?
Cool Runnings, but with white chicks. I don't know. That was really bad.
Wait, does Frozen take place in Jamaica? Go ahead, Keegan.
The Splendiferous Adventures of Adele Dazeem.
All right. Very good.
Splendiferous.
Very good. The real answer is, of course, Frigid, the princess who doesn't need a man. Hans Christian Andersen, also a feminist. But the original title was The Snow Queen, which was the title of the original story, and continues to be the title in French, La Reine des Neiges. So there you go. Presumably in other languages too, because Gelée probably would make for a very good movie title. All right, we're going to move on to the next question, which is Freak-a-Boo. What is Monsters, Inc.'s official slogan? Yes, Keegan.
Monsters, Inc., wet in bed since 1964.
I can't tell if you said wet in bed or wetting beds. And I'm not
Either
sure.
way.
Yeah, I'm not sure it matters.
Some kids gotta learn early what they're into.
Are you more of a Sully girl or are you more of a Mike?
Monsters, Inc. coming out of closets before it was cool.
Yeah.
Monsters, Inc. Nothing we could ever do is worse than hearing your parents have sex.
Yes. 200 points. Go, Sidney.
Monsters Incorporated, scream for me.
That was so horny.
Yeah, did you all find your womanhood?
We
Shut
all
the
found
fuck
We all found our womanhood right there. So I need to get a change of underwear. Yes.
Monsters, Inc., not responsible for death or dismemberment.
Corporations are people.
Monsters, Inc., don't check the Epstein list.
Monsters, Inc., fully responsible for death and dismemberment.
See us for death and dismemberment.
And scream for me.
Monsters, Inc., you're going to regret this neck tattoo when you're 40. Anyone else?
Monsters, Inc., the only movie to make Steve Buscemi more attractive.
Hey, that's a type. You can have... Yeah.
Actually, wait, weird crossover. Do you guys remember the trend where someone was photoshopping eyes of Steve Buscemi onto Disney princesses? It's hilarious. Look it up when you get home. It's the best.
Everyone, look that up when you get home. Or those of you listening on your computers right now, open up a new tab.
You won't
Pause
regret
this
it.
show and get a snack while you're at it. All right. The official slogan of Monsters Incorporated is, "We scare because we care."
So simple.
Don't care.
But honestly, I like Sidney's better. Maybe in the sequel. It makes me want a sequel. We're going to move on to the next question. The category is The Vault for Our Stars. What Disney feature is now permanently interred in the Disney Vault due to its problematic depiction of American race relations? Yes, Keegan.
Pocahontas.
Surprisingly, surprisingly not.
Who framed O.J. Simpson?
Go ahead, Ryan.
The Whitey Ducks.
The Whitey Ducks. That's also very good. Sorry, no, it is not the Whitey Ducks.
The Jungle Fever.
No, not the Jungle Fever.
The Little Housemaid.
No, but it does have Hattie McDaniel in it, so you're getting warmer.
Gumbo.
And colder. Sidney.
Snow White Savior.
Yeah. The Snow White Man's Burden.
Snow White.
wait,
I have
that's the Jungle
problems too.
I'm just going to keep rolling with the theme. Snow White privilege.
Ah. All she had to do was just walk into that cottage and all those dwarves were just working for her all of a sudden. It's crazy.
Snow White Lives Matter.
In the mic. Do it in the mic.
Yeah, do it into the mic.
I was afraid.
It's good. It's
Yeah,
good.
I'm going to cut this very specifically.
Snow White Lives Matter.
Yeah. Too fast for me to get in between the words. Very good.
Snow Blue Lives Matter.
Oh, no.
Cut it. Cut that.
All right. Yeah, Ryan.
Snow White nationalism.
Aw.
Snow, have we mentioned Ryan's Jewish?
And obviously Snow White supremacy.
right.
You have mentioned that Ryan's Jewish, and you have also mentioned your preference for circumcision. So I see a match.
Anyways, yeah, Ryan, what are you doing after this? Should we Monsters Inc. later?
Scream for me.
I'm scared.
Because I care.
Not responsible for death or dismemberment.
Fully responsible for death and dismemberment.
All right.
Way to remind me that I'm circumcised, Nikki.
Thank you, guys. Yes, the correct answer is, one more, Snow White in the 14 words. No, it is Song of the South. Song of the South, the tales of Uncle Remus, Brer Rabbit, and his friends from Splash Mountain, which is, I think, now being retooled. So we're going to move on to the next question. The category is, It's Restricted. In the Disney Junior Animated Series Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, that's the clubhouse that's restricted, Ryan, you can't go. What words must be spoken to make the titular clubhouse appear? Yes, Andrew.
The following is rated PG-13 for adult situations.
Go ahead, Nikki.
Fabric land.
I think that just conjures fabric land.
It conjures one of those terrifying mice faces we saw earlier on.
But you can use the fabric in fabric land to make a pillow for it. And then that's your clubhouse that is still restricted, unfortunately. Yeah, go ahead, Brian.
Arbeit macht frei.
Not, yeah. That's okay. Go ahead, Sidney.
Donald Duck, no shirt, no pants.
Full service.
Please.
Speaking of Kingdom Hearts, there's a bit in Kingdom Hearts where Donald is transformed into a mermaid, so he's shirtless, but he has a fishtail. I don't know if that's your thing or not.
That's Donald naked.
Yeah, okay. So there, you have
Show
something
me those
to do later.
ducky nipples. Sorry, Brian's Jewish.
Anyone else for the magic words to make the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse appear? No?
Abracadabra, child actor trauma.
Go ahead.
Circumcised hot dogs! Circumcised hot dogs!
Just peel back a little bit of the casing. It's nice.
I'll be there.
All right. So the real answer is too small. Yeah, Miska Muska, Mickey Mouse. Thank you, preschoolers in the audience. I'm glad some of the target audience for that show is in the room. All right, we're going to move on to the last question of this round. The category is Wii Ticket, also a very fucking old reference. What is the only ride to be featured at every Disney resort? Ryan.
Walt Disney's Wild Mustache Ride.
Go ahead.
The emotional ride of mom and dad arguing so much that they almost get a divorce.
It's a real roller coaster. I need some Space Mountain, I think is what it's. Keegan.
The Enchanted Tiki Womb.
No.
Big Thunder Thighs Mountain.
Also no. Yes.
The Cunty Bear Jamboree.
Oh, come on. At least name a serious ride.
Okay, fine. Daddy's Lap.
Okay. Yes, Sidney.
The churro cart on a steep hill.
The magical metal detector in the land of no outside food or drink.
My magic carpet. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay.
Thanks, Dan.
I'm still riding on Scream for Me.
You and me both, baby.
And Daddy's Lab, apparently. Yes, Andrew.
Mascot designated smoking area.
Apparently they have lines well behind the doors that you can't take your head off until you're behind them to preserve the zero possibility of some small child seeing Goofy's head come off.
And smoke.
Smoke.
They also have long lines behind the doors for the fucking mascots to snort up because it's impossible to deal with children if you're not high on cocaine. I ran out of breath.
Yeah.
You should try cocaine.
I think you would need, like, downers to deal with children, personally. But that's just me.
Yeah, have you ever seen the mascot signatures? They're definitely on downers. Mickey Mouse.
Why do you think they called him goofballs? All right, anybody else? All right, the correct answer is It's a Small World is the only ride at every Disney resort. It was not whatever somebody said when they wrote this question. I forget what that was.
It wasn't me, and it wasn't wrong.
I looked it up, but it is there. It's a Small World is at every Disney resort. All right, that's it for this pop quiz. Give your contestants a hand. We are going to move on to the next section of our game, which is called Not Bloody Likely. In Not Bloody Likely, we propose a series of unusual situations, and our contestants give us an idea of what might happen. Are we ready? Yes. Okay, here we are with our first unlikely situation. Unlikely Disney princesses.
Steve Buscemi.
But those eyes.
Smallpox Pocahontas.
Oh, that's statistically very likely Disney princess.
The princess and the pea fetish.
Hello, I'm Joan Rivers. And recently, I and the Disney theme park both celebrated a centennial.
Ghislaine Mousewell.
Eva Braun.
Yeah, we get it. You like you like Nazi stuff. Anyone else for unlikely Disney princesses?
Sleeping booty.
Oh,
Sorry, was that too sexy again? Guys, I can't.
The question is, does sleeping booty still get kissed? I think.
That's not.
All right. Are we done with this one? Yeah. All right, let's move on. The next unlikely situation. Unfortunate Disney IP acquisitions. They've been doing a lot of corporate mergers lately. They can't, not everything is on brand for Disney, surely.
Depression.
That's what Disney movies are supposed to be there to solve.
Donald Duck flavored lube.
I'm curious what Donald Duck tastes like.
That's why you buy it.
Yeah, that's why you buy it. That's a good idea, actually. Like the mystery flavor Airhead. Like, what flavor is Donald today? Guess where he's been adventuring with Uncle Scrooge and the boys. This tastes a little like crude oil. Okay, go ahead, Andrew. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. Unionized labor.
Bang bus. Cheap and easy way to get people around the parks.
Joe really appreciated the Bang Buzz shout out. I think Disney could do good work with Brazzers, though. That's campy enough. I like that landed with a lot of people. I just know it because I lived in Montreal. Go ahead. Anybody else for unfortunate Disney IPs? I'll do one. Star Wars. All right, we're going to move on. Rejected first pitches for Disney classics.
Okay, so get this. There's this dog that can't fucking read, and there's this gorgeous princess, and the hottest guy in town wants to bang her, but she says, no, I want the dog that can't read.
I didn't know Harvey Fierstein pitched Lady and the Tramp. That's great. Go ahead.
All right. It's a TV series where Goofy is a single dad. Don't worry, it's not sad. He didn't get divorced. She died terribly, and we never address it. It's a comedy called Goof Troop.
Has anyone played the Goof Troop Super Nintendo game? Oh, yeah. Yeah. All right.
Too hard.
Yeah. It's not Lion King hard, but it's too hard.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Sorry.
I have to go back here.
Yeah. Put yourself right in the headspace.
Okay, so there's this girl in the media. She's really, really popular, and we need to capitalize right now. Her name is Gypsy Rose Blanchard.
Okay, so hear me out. What if we gave Prince Charming a foot fetish?
Okay, so a divorced dad disguises himself as a woman to sneak into his children's home. No, it's a comedy.
Okay, so this mom and this dad and this kid, they all get attacked, right? The kid breaks his arm, the mom dies, the attacker, a barracuda. And then we move on on we move forward. There's another guy, broken arm, hottest fucking dude you've ever seen, and they're all fish.
He actually held up the slide from earlier.
Yeah, so I haven't really worked out the plot yet, but we're going to use the classic Disney model. The mom's going to die.
Yeah.
All right, we all know what kids love. Sitting still, classical music, cartoons that are silent. It's called Fantasia. And we'll be
Fantasia of Leonard Bernstein and Timothy Leary fucked, which I think they did in that movie. Did anybody see it? Go ahead.
Hear me out. 90 minutes of Robin Williams playing with green cum.
Okay, so then the horned wings open and we see Satan himself. And it's called Fantasia, and it's for kids.
Why don't we put in that song that caused the riot in 1914? Kids love that shit. All right, anybody else? All right, we're going to move on. Once the rite of spring happens, you have to move on. Probably not overheard at Disney World.
I love lines.
Nikki, I will say that if you get to the backstage area, you do hear people saying, I love lines, but it's a different cadence.
My dad is so good at conflict resolution.
These funnel cakes are so affordable.
And they stay fresh for so long.
My mom is so good at resolving conflicts with my dad.
Sounds like somebody's going to take a ride on I Need Some Space Mountain.
I haven't heard from them in years.
I just love my kids. We should have more.
This is so much fun. Could you imagine doing it with an extra toddler?
We'll hide the body over there.
All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to move on to the next one. Shelved pilots for the 90s Disney afternoon.
The Cummy Bears.
No. They just shoot the rainbow out of their tums.
Doug, but he's 45 and divorced.
Patty Mayonnaise has gone off a bit by then.
Mickey Mouse Divorce Club?
Let's do Porco Rosso, but before Porco Rosso, Miyazaki stole that whole idea from Tailspin, which was based on his manga, but that's okay.
Porco Rosso is a weird freaking movie.
It is my favorite Miyazaki movie, yeah. It was like made for me, but also maybe because I watched a lot of Tailspin as a kid, and they're the same.
Michael Keaton can do no wrong.
Yeah. All right. I think we've had enough Disney afternoon because we're adults. Last one. Failed auditions for iconic Disney roles.
Scarlett Johansson as Mulan.
She can play anything.
Okay, Emma Stone as Mulan.
Tilda Swanson is Mulan.
Tilda Swinton? Yes. Tilda Swanson, TV dinners. Yeah.
Hello, I am Gypsy Rose Blanchard, and I'm here to read the part of Steve Buscemi.
Oh, it's so dirty in here. Let me call some of my friends. La 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 la. La 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 la. Oh God, it's just rats.
Bill Cosby for Sleeping Beauty. Put the pills in the princess and okay.
And then she pricks her finger on the. Never mind.
Alt right.
That's good. Yeah.
Woody Allen and Minnie is a little bit older than I'd like, but I'll give it a shot, you know.
He seems like more of a Mulan guy, actually, to me.
Rachel Dolezal as Princess Tiana.
All right, I think we're going to stop it there. Thank you, guys. That is it for Not Bloody Likely. And we are going to move on to the last section of our show, which is called Debate Club. In Debate Club, our contestants debate important issues of the day, and you, the audience, get to decide who wins. All right. Our first question, in Frozen, who is the better boyfriend, Hans or Kristoff? Arguing in favor of Hans is Joe Botelho. Arguing in favor of Kristoff is Ryan Zeitz. Joe, you're up first. You have 1 minute, starting right now.
All right, Prince Hans is like the perfect boyfriend, okay? He's charming, he's handsome, he's very supportive. He's unafraid to show love. He expresses understanding and has the capacity for empathy. Sure, when his true intentions are revealed later, he would seem evil. But I would argue that the deceptive behavior adds a complexity to the character, making him a much more interesting romantic foil than that fucking stupid reindeer wrangling, ice-picking bum. Also, he's a prince. Prince Anna is like the hottest princess. That's all. He's a prince. That's all that matters. Thank you.
All right, thank you for that eloquent defense of the aristocracy. All right, arguing in favor of Kristoff is Ryan Zeitz. Ryan, you have 1 minute, starting now.
Okay, so first of all, Kristoff didn't actively try and kill her. You know, call me crazy, I feel like there's a bit of a red flag. But if you want to overlook attempted murder, he committed an even more heinous crime, Hans, he did. He tried to eat all of her fucking sandwiches. I don't want a boyfriend I can't take to Subway. As far as Kristoff, he's an orphan, so you know he'll try harder because he needs family. Also, he owns a goddamn reindeer. He's a modern-day Santa Claus. Who doesn't want to date and fuck Santa? Also, he's a rational fellow who doesn't think it's normal to, marry somebody 10 seconds after meeting them. He had the decency to wait till the sequel.
All right. Yeah, Thank you, Ryan. Joe, you have 30 seconds to respond.
Okay, back in the day, that's how loveless marriages were normal. That's how it. And luckily, Hans is not related to Anna. That's even better reason to get married to Hans over Kristoff. Also, Arendelle is in great debt to Hans's kingdom, so it's kind of like they owe him something. And Anna, I'm sure, is like 20 goats worth of.
All right. Thank you. Ryan, you have the last word. 30 seconds starting right now.
Okay, so Kristoff also keeps his feelings for Anna secret so she can be with Hans. And I mean, who doesn't love a guy who can be a little submissive? Is he a cuckold? Who knows? That's for Anna to find out. But also, why are we defending fucking treating women as chattel and spousal abuse? This is horrible. And last but not least, he walks around in a leather suit all day. Kristoff, he does. Who would want to date a burly blonde leather daddy?
All right. Thank you. All right, and now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Joe Botelho that Hans is the better boyfriend because he's somehow an aristocrat that's not related to her, which is actually pretty good for them? Or do you agree with Ryan that you want a blonde leather daddy? All right. Ryan wins. That is a point for the Mousketeers. Up next, arguing the proposition, Disney princes are hotter the dumber they are. Arguing in favor is Keegan Hawkeswood. Arguing against is Sidney Cummings. Keegan, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
Thank you very much. We love a sexy dum-dum, right? And we've already been talking about sexy animals. Now, what if those two things combined? I present to you Simba, okay? First of all, Simba is a dum-dum. He's this little privileged twink baby running around doing whatever he wants. And then he gets his father killed. Idiot. What are you doing, Simba? Don't be stupid. Then he runs away because he gets tricked Dum-dum. He moves in with 2 older gays who then take control of his life. Don't let gays control what you do. We're awful. We'll make you do terrible things, Simba. You turn into this sexy cub, muscled twunk, and you're gonna let 2 gays control your life? Bad idea. That's how you get an OnlyFans. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Keegan. Send me the address for Simba's OnlyFans later. All right, arguing against the idea that Disney princesses are hotter the dumber they are is Sidney Cummings. Sidney, you have 1 minute, starting now.
Thank you. Starting with dumb and ugly. Aladdin is told explicitly, do not fucking touch that shit. Now, I don't exactly find him ugly, but he does wear a vest and no shirt the whole movie, so I hate that a lot. Prince Naveen, so stupid, gets his ass turned into a frog. Cusco, again, so stupid, gets his ass turned into a llama. Ugly animals. And then also, the beast can't fucking read, illiterate. In the vein of hot and smart, we have Hans. Evil? Yeah. Hot? Yes. Smart? Okay, sure. Hercules. Delicious. Literally a demigod. Quick learner. Thank you. Flynn Rider. Funny, hot, fucking street smart. I rest my goddamn case.
All right. Thank you, Sidney. I do have to ask you, if Donald Duck wore the Aladdin outfit with the vest and no shirt, what is your position on that?
Oh my God, that little tease. Can I see nipple or no nipple? Depends.
Only when he's doing his parkour and it flaps open.
One step.
All right, thank you. All right, Keegan, you have 30 seconds to respond, starting now.
I do appreciate that, there are some smarter princes out there. And smarter is a very loose term in the Disney world, as Sidney has pointed out. But, what really matters when you're bagging a prince is he wealthy? Yes, like Sleeping Beauty's prince. He's wealthy. He talks for less than 5 minutes in the whole movie. Keeper, okay? I get it, okay? But still stupid. The prince from Cinderella, foot fetish, mentioned already, goes around trying one shoe on every woman in the kingdom. Rich and dumb and hot.
All right, thank you, Keegan. Sidney, you have the last word, 30 seconds, starting now.
Yeah, I'm going to take my time because all I have to say is Simba starts as an animal. And personally, I don't want to fuck him. So, stupid and ugly. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Sidney. Now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Keegan Hawkeswood that Disney princes are hotter the dumber they are? Yeah! Or do you agree with Sidney Cummings that Disney princes are hotter when they're not dumb animals? All right. Clear victory for Sidney. Clear victory for Sidney. And her hatred of Aladdin's vest. All right, that is another point for the Mousketeers. Come on, Aristocats. All right. He's Jewish? Are you saying he's controlling this show behind the scenes?
Minus 10 points for Judaism.
Yes, sir. All right, our last debate of the evening, arguing the question, is Goofy a dog or what? Arguing in favor of dog is Andrew Lizotte. Arguing in favor of not dog is Nikki Ashworth. Andrew, you have 1 minute, starting right now.
Okay, so if there's anything we know, it's that Disney loved Nietzsche's The Will to Power, to which Goofy is clearly a metaphor because he frees himself from societal slavery by seizing his own independence and changing into pants, all right? Just like the pigs at the end of Animal Farm. Pants mean free will, all right? So Goofy, he's united through, I got this off Sparks Notes. Right, so Goofy's anointed through his own ambition, takes his natural throne as something Nietzsche referred to as the Übermensch, while Pluto chooses to remain in the shackles of his oppressors. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right, I have a lot to say, so listen up, kids.
Is that from Beyond Goof and Evil? Is that? All right. Nikki, you have 1 minute starting right now.
I don't know exactly what Goofy is, but I do know categorically that Goofy is not a dog because Mickey has a dog, and that dog is named Pluto. In the Disney universe, we're made aware that Pluto is a dog. Sure, one belonging to an anthropomorphic mouse, but a dog just the same. He's Mickey's pet. Pluto walks on all fours. He has a tail, he has a collar, and aside from that, he is naked. That would not be appropriate for Goofy to be naked. Pluto is Mickey's best friend, but not in the same way that Goofy is Mickey's best friend. The big difference is that when Pluto falls ill, Mickey will take him to the vet and euthanize him to be humane. and after a time of mourning, Mickey would just get a new dog to replace him. Do you expect Mickey to replace Goofy so easily when he dies? Go to the best friend pound and adopt a new Goofy? Please. Furthermore, do you think that Mickey has the right to request to euthanize Goofy, his non-pet best friend? You ghoul. You cannot replace friends. They live in your heart forever.
Thank you. Thank you, Nikki. For making me think about whether there's medical assistance in dying in the Disney universe. All right. Andrew, you have 30 seconds to respond, starting now.
I don't think she so much touched on Goofy being a dog, but did highlight an important fact that Mickey Mouse is the 1%. He is the bourgeoisie and controls the means of production and should be stopped. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Andrew. Nikki, you have the last word. 30 seconds starting now.
Pluto is loyal and kind. So is Goofy, but Pluto demonstrates it through gestures that only a dog would make. Goofy is kind by picking up Mickey from the bar when he's hammered, and also pet sits Pluto when Mickey is out of town on a book tour. Do you not see the difference, sheeple? If Goofy had a pet mouse, I think that we could call this debate a draw. But Goofy does not have a pet mouse akin to Mickey having a pet dog. That sounds too weird, right? If Goofy had a pet mouse, what if Goofy had a pet dog of his own? That's even more disturbing. As Missy Elliott would say, put my thing down, flip it, and reverse it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nikki. But what if Goofy had a pet duck like the guys on Friends?
Wasn't there also a monkey?
Yeah, there was a monkey, but I don't think we want to talk about
Sorry,
that.
I
today.
also don't think this was fair because Nikki clearly wrote her thesis on this.
There's a lot of academic obscurantism going on right now.
I would also like to point out that the lack of clothes on Pluto is actually slut-shaming Pluto. And probably make...
Which is also slut-shaming.
Shaming.
All right. All right, and now you, the audience, get to decide. Do you agree with Andrew that Goofy is a dog?
That's my teammate!
Or do you agree with Nikki that he is some kind of non-dog entity? Congratulations, Aristocats, you finally got a point. All right. So let me do the tally here, and it turns out that the two teams once again are tied. 2,137 points to 2,137 points. So you guys are going to have to vote for which team you like better overall tonight. Did you like the Aristocats, Nikki, Ashworth, Keegan, Hawkeswood, and Joe Botelho? Or did you like the Mousketeers, Andrew Lizotte, Sidney Cummings, and Ryan Zeitz? Okay, you're not allowed to shake your tits. Let's do this again. Once more for the Aristocrats, the Aristocats. Once more for the Mousketeers. That was very unenthusiastic both times.
Just let me shake my tits
All right.
again.
I'm giving it to the Mousketeers because, yeah, Ryan controls the media. Thank you, everybody. You can all shut the fuck up now while I do the end of the show spiel. This has been Comedy Game Showdown. I have been your host, Dan Donnelly. The Aristocats once again have been Nikki, Ashworth, Keegan, Hawkeswood, and Joe Botelho. The Mousketeers have been Andrew Lizotte, Sidney, Cummings, and Ryan Zeitz. Our next episode is Fandom Fantasy 3, February 15th, 10 p.m. right here in this room. You can patronize our Patreon, patreon.com/andascotchegg. If you live in town, it's the cheapest way to get tickets to the show. And thank you to our patrons. And lastly, please follow us on all the usual places because we're going somewhere, possibly to Toontown. I'm glad you thought that was so funny. All right, thank you guys and have a wonderful night.